This is a MacBook Pro, a 13-inch MacBook Pro from the year 2015, as Apple would put it, early 2015. It's powered by an Intel Core i5 processor, has 8GB of DDR3 RAM, a 256GB solid-state drive, and Intel Iris 6100 graphics. Now, despite all that, Apple still supports this device and keeps it updated, software-wise. This 7-year-old laptop is running macOS Monterey on version 12.4, which is the latest Mac operating system dated as this video is being filmed. Now, before we get into how this laptop has held up, let's take a look at some of the latest MacBooks that Apple has released over the past year. As you probably know, Apple has been transitioning to custom silicon MacBooks since November 2020 when they first launched the M1 chip, which is essentially a processor that Apple developed in-house to power their own desktops and notebooks, being extremely powerful and at the same time extraordinarily power efficient. Apple then went ahead and released the M1 Pro and M1 Max chipsets, which are even more capable and power their new 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros, which by the way have also got a redesigned chassis and an amazing mini LED display. These new laptops have received lots of praise from productivity and power users, including artists and content creators. They seem to have taken a big step in the right direction for the future of MacBooks. So, why am I talking about the new MacBooks in the review of the 2015 MacBook Pro? Well, those new devices take many cues from this 7-year-old MacBook Pro, like just follow through this. This 2015 MacBook Pro was the last to have the iconic MagSafe charging port, which Apple recently brought back to their notebooks. It was also the last to feature ports such as the HDMI and full-size SD card reader, which again Apple recently brought back with the new MacBook Pros. The keyboard on this 2015 laptop was also the last chiclet-style keyboard before Apple transitioned to the butterfly mechanism keyboard, and you probably know how that road ended for them. Again, they brought back mostly the same keyboard from this device on the new 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros. This laptop was also one of the last to feature actual function keys on the keyboard until they were replaced by the touch bar, and Apple finally also got rid of the touch bar with the new MacBook Pros, replacing it back with normal function keys. You can probably see now how the new 2021 MacBooks are similar to the 2015 MacBook Pro than any other laptop Apple has come out with, which on its own speaks a lot about this device and why it's held up so well through all these years. First of all, it's built like a tank, not any different from the new Apple MacBooks. It's machined from a single piece of aluminum and there's no flex, creaks or any sort of damage that it shows from its 7 years of daily use. It has the classic light up Apple logo at the back, which looks really cool, and I think it's one of the things Apple should have brought back on the new MacBooks too. The MagSafe charging works as it should and is really satisfying. Other ports on the device include a USB-A port, a full-size HDMI and a shallow SD card reader on the right side, and on the left side we have a headphone jack, another USB-A port and two Thunderbolt ports next to the MagSafe charging port, which are meant to connect to external displays, but honestly I've never used them. So the laptop probably has all the ports you'll ever need, except maybe a Type-C port, which would have come in handy as of now, but it wasn't that popular back in 2015. Coming to the screen of this laptop, it has a 13.3-inch Retina display panel, which to me still looks really good for all the web browsing, document typing and once in a while movie watching I do. It has a resolution of 2560 by 1600 pixels, which is pretty sharp even according to today's standards, but maxes out at only 300 nits of brightness. So it's not the brightest screen out there and becomes a little hard to see in well-lit environments like say direct sunlight. But it's not an issue if you just plan to use it indoors. Another aspect where the 2015 MacBook Pro really shows its age are the bezels around the screen. Yeah, those are pretty chunky looking bezels, but they won't really distract you and they kind of fade away when you're not looking at them directly. The top border houses a 720p FaceTime HD camera, which also isn't the best, but will do its job pretty well for video calls. The microphones and speakers also hold up really well and won't disappoint to use even today. Now, this MacBook doesn't have any Touch ID fingerprint sensor, so you'll have to rely on the traditional password method for logging into it. But the keyboard and Force Touch trackpad have aged really well. The keys have a good amount of travel and it's just overall a fun keyboard to type on. Like, take a listen for yourself. The trackpad is a force touch trackpad, which means it doesn't really click but gives the sensation of a click using the taptic engine under it. And I'll go as far as saying that Windows laptops in 2022 yet have to catch up to this trackpad of the 2015 MacBook Pro. Talking about performance, as I said, it runs on a dual-core i5 processor and has 8GB of RAM. The benchmark scores for single-core and multi-core are on the lower side, but as it's updated to macOS Monterey, the overall experience of using the device is very smooth and I haven't run into any bottlenecks. Now, of course, it won't be able to handle tasks like 4K video editing and heavy rendering stuff very well, so if you're looking for a high-performance laptop, probably look at the newer MacBooks. The battery life on this device is also not that great. It gives between 4 to 6 hours of usage between charges, and that is while performing normal tasks like making documents and browsing around the user interface. Heavy lifting like editing photos and videos will run through the battery even faster. So to conclude, if you're looking for a powerhouse of a laptop that is going to replace your main machine, or say you're a content creator and just need really good battery life out of your device, then you'll have to probably look at the newer M1 Pro and M1 Max MacBooks. But if you're looking to just get started using a MacBook and just want to get used to the light workflow of typing documents, browsing the web and watching videos, you can manage to get this 2015 MacBook Pro at a much lower price. I'll link some good deals in the description below. Now, as of 2022, and kind of contradicting myself, I wouldn't recommend going out and actually buying this device. Simply because it has only a few years of life left in it and will probably stop receiving software updates in around the next 2 years. But the point is that it's held up insanely well through its time in the market, which makes you really think how the newer M1 and M2 MacBooks are going to hold up, say from like the next 5 to 10 years. I guess we'll find out. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to drop a like if you liked it. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one.